A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant announcement made on Monday, President Donald Trump has signed an executive order aimed at drastically reducing prescription drug prices in the United States, with claims that costs could fall by as much as 90%. This initiative, termed Most Favored Nations Drug Pricing, is designed to align American drug prices with those in other developed countries, particularly in Europe, where patients often pay significantly less for the same medications. During a press conference, Trump emphasized that the pharmaceutical industry has been profiteering at the expense of American patients and stated, "We're going to equalize. We're all going to pay the same. We're going to pay what Europe pays." The announcement comes amid growing public discontent over high drug prices, a concern that has persisted for years. In fact, many Americans pay several times more for life-saving medications than their counterparts in other wealthy nations, a situation many attribute to the powerful influence of the pharmaceutical industry in the U.S. market. Trump has previously criticized this industry, suggesting they have been taking advantage of American consumers, stating back in 2017 that they were getting away with murder. However, in his latest remarks, he shifted some of the blame onto foreign countries, framing the high prices as a result of a trade imbalance. Trump noted, "We have been subsidizing the health care of foreign countries," implying that the U.S. has been unfairly bearing the cost of drug development that benefits other nations. This perspective aligns with the pharmaceutical industry's narrative, which argues that high U.S. prices are due to foreign nations not paying their fair share. Senator Bernie Sanders, a vocal critic of high drug prices, responded to Trump's announcement by asserting that the real issue lies with U.S. pharmaceutical companies, not foreign pricing. "I agree with President Trump. It is an outrage that the American people pay, by far, the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs," Sanders stated. But let's be clear, the problem is not that the price of prescription drugs is too low in Europe and Canada. The problem is that the extraordinarily greedy pharmaceutical industry made over $100 billion in profits last year by ripping off the American people. The White House has provided a fact sheet indicating that the administration will communicate price targets to pharmaceutical manufacturers to ensure that the U.S., as the largest purchaser of prescription drugs globally, secures the best possible deals. Following the announcement, stock prices for U.S. drug makers experienced a slight uptick, reflecting investor optimism despite skepticism from experts regarding the feasibility of Trump's ambitious claims. Rachel Sachs, a health law expert, expressed doubt about the immediate impact of the executive order, stating, "It really does seem the plan is to ask manufacturers to voluntarily lower their prices to some point which is not known. If they do not lower their prices to the desired point, HHS shall take other actions with a very long timeline." In a related statement, Trump highlighted that the U.S. represents only 4% of the world's population but accounts for more than two-thirds of pharmaceutical profits. He asserted, "That's not a good thing," and vowed to end the practice of subsidizing healthcare costs for other nations. The executive order also mandates that the U.S. Trade Representative and Secretary of Commerce take action against foreign practices that undermine market prices in the U.S. Additionally, the Secretary of Health and Human Services will establish mechanisms for American patients to purchase drugs directly from manufacturers at the most favored nation price, bypassing intermediaries. If pharmaceutical companies fail to comply, the order directs the Secretary to propose rules enforcing this pricing model and to take other aggressive measures to reduce drug costs. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. expressed his astonishment at the development, stating, "I never thought that this would happen in my lifetime." He noted that even his children, who are fans of Bernie Sanders, were moved by the announcement. However, the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America has criticized the executive order, claiming it could harm American patients and jeopardize investments in innovation. They argue that the real issue lies with the middlemen and the structure of the U.S. healthcare system, which allows various entities to take a significant portion of the healthcare dollar. Despite the controversy surrounding the executive order, Trump's administration is pushing forward with its plans to address the long-standing issue of high prescription drug prices, aiming to bring relief to American consumers. As the debate continues, it remains to be seen how effective these measures will be in achieving the promised reductions in drug costs. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.